Hi, thank you for joining me today. And today we're focusing on some of the parables that Jesus taught in Matthew 13 and Luke 9, and that's possibly the most popular parable or the most famous one, which is the parable of the sower. And it teaches about the gospel and how it is received by different people. And there are four different types of soils that I identified that the seeds fall on. And these soils refer to the ways that people receive the gospel. And even though I've read this chapter and know this story, possibly since I was a child, here are a few things that stuck out to me this time. Number one, only those that were close to Jesus had the privilege of knowing the secrets of the kingdom. So it made me realize that the secrets of the kingdom are not for everyone. He didn't explain. He could have told the people very plainly, but instead he spoke to them in a parable and then explained it to his disciples. 2, it is not enough to just hear the word. Understanding is very, very key. And this is demonstrated by the seeds, or that was the fate of the seeds that fell on the road or on the pathway. Without understanding of the gospel or the word that you receive, the enemy snatches it away. So for me, this made me sit down to think and further emphasized or further magnified. I don't know, I'm struggling for big words today. Magnified the reason why it's not enough to just read the Bible so that I can get through it in 1 year. It's about studying it, and it's about understanding what I read. Now, the third thing is that as Christians, we're promised trials and persecution. And these trials and persecutions are set to try our faith. Now, the seeds that fall on rocky ground aren't deeply rooted in the ground, right? And so they couldn't and cannot, withstand trials. And this is a lesson for those who claim to follow Christ, like us, like me, like you. We must be strong and deeply rooted in Him so that we're able to withstand life's tests. And we should, the things that aim to steal our joy. Now, the more deeply rooted you are in Christ, the stronger your faith is. And so it's very, very important for us to make sure that we are, growing our faith every day so that we don't end up like these shallow rooted seeds. Now, not only trials, but also apparent blessings can reveal our hearts towards God. And this is demonstrated by the seeds that were sown among thorns and thistles. Because some of the things was wealth, like they were blessed and the cares of the world. So wealth can also choke out the message, because perhaps maybe you are too rich and too comfortable, you don't think that you need God until you find out that there's more problems in riches than there is without it. I mean, that's what they say, But people that are on the other side always say, give me the money first and we can figure that out. Now, do you wonder why Jesus didn't reveal the meaning of the parable to the crowd and only revealed it to his disciples? Well, I did. And even though I may not understand fully, I've come to know that Jesus only did things with divine intention and and divine timing. So perhaps it wasn't time for them to know about what it really was, as we'll see as we read the gospel. But yeah, it was just something that stuck out to me and I thought to share. Now, Luke lets us know that there were women who followed Jesus: Mary Magdalene, Joanna, Susanna, and many more. How cool is it to know that Jesus had female disciples too, and they were made up of a diverse group. They were rich, wealthy women, and even people of lowly stature. The story of the demoniac here, remember we've read it before, had one and not two demoniacs, just like Matthew's version. In Matthew's version, there were two demoniacs. But more important than that for me was how the people of Gennesaret asked Jesus to leave after he had performed that miracle. When he left, and on the other side of the lake, the people were waiting for him to come back. How ironic is it that he went somewhere to perform a miracle and the people wanted him gone, and there was another set of people on the other side of the lake waiting for him to return. Ironic. Now, let me share my hashtag getting to know God lesson today, and it is this: Jesus traveled with a diverse group of people, from men to women, rich to poor, and even a former demoniac was amongst them, Mary Magdalene. Remember that they said that Jesus cast out 7 demons from her. So Jesus is not just for all nations of people, but for all types, all ethnicities, all kinds of people, representing all types of soil. So all these people could have been all kinds of the different soils that we read about in the parable, but he can take them or bring them together and make them into a beautiful and fruitful garden. That's comforting for me to know, because it helps me know that I don't have to be like someone else to be in the company of Jesus. I don't have to be a cookie cutter Christian to be counted as one of his disciples, because he didn't just, choose a certain kind of people. He moved around with a diverse group. I hope that comforts you today, and I'm very glad that I got to share my lessons with you today, and I look forward to doing the same tomorrow, God willing. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.